And we have a bigger group of researchers here that the first author is María Davidová. So the floor is now on your group.
Hello, thank you very much, Marie. My name is María Davidová, but I will not be presenting. Today's presenters are Hanane Behnam, Maurice Koch, and Claudia Valverde, who also prepared this wonderful presentation, and we co-authored this paper also with Kuno Kurzhals and Daniel Weiskopf. So Hanane, please start.
Yeah, hello everyone. Do you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Marie. As Marie mentioned, I'm gonna start presenting our research paper, which is titled Gigamapping CoDesign Processes with Eye Tracking. And this research is done at the University of Stuttgart at the Cluster of Excellence, Integrated Computational Design and Construction for Architecture, INTCDC. Next, please. The research is conducted in a collaboration of two different research groups of architects.
Should there be a presentation?
Sorry?
Don't see the presentation?
I can see the presentation. Yes, there's an introduction and two pictures.
Yes. Can everyone can see the presentation?
No, I can't see it. Why? Weird. Okay, go on. Okay. If it's only me.
Okay. This research is conducted at the collaboration of two different research groups of architects and visualization research scientists. Actually, with this collaboration, we aim to investigate how gigamapping and eye tracking enhance co-design processes in urban environments. Next, please. In the Gigamapping CoDesign workshops, gigamaps serve as a powerful methodological design and visual tool, enabling multiple iterations and feedback loops with diverse stakeholders in an alive mode to create a comprehensive visual representation, capturing both personal and collective insights. As a result, enhanced stakeholder contributions and fostered collaborative learning could be achieved. Next, please. The participants in co-design workshops were mainly architecture students and stakeholders from different communities who discussed and extended an initial map consisting of ideas and co-design aspects. The stakeholders contributed at different times, and their insights and synergies were incorporated into the gigamap. Finally, the gigamap becomes the foundation for our co-design approach. Next, please. Through the two co-design workshops, architecture students were co-designing earlier stage gigamaps, as you can see in the image down left, that were initially co-designed from synergizing individual minimaps. And at this stage, the students were first asked to draw their own individual minimaps of their individual universe in the project to understand their own perspective. And they developed empathy with each other in the search for a synergetic proposal in the gigamap. When they started relating their universes in one collective gigamap, where you can see in the image top right. And next, please. And finally, the interaction analysis while gigamapping is done with eye tracking. The main question here is how can we capture and interpret design during design processes? And in order to answer these questions, multiple eye tracking glasses deployed to track the creation process of a gigamap from start to end. This way, we could capture actually gaze distributions indicating visual attention, social interaction, and interaction with the map. These eye tracking insights facilitate understanding, visual attention, guide collaborative design, and they also have potential for enhancing co-design in other urban and collaborative environments. Now, Maurice explains further technical detail of every eye tracking method.
Yes, exactly. Talking about our technical setup, we used 4 to 5 eye tracking glasses to track the visual tension on the gigamap. You can see the picture of a setup here on the top. Additionally to eye tracking, we also use a top-down camera to record activity on the gigamap. And you can also see a video of this top-down video on the bottom with the gaze point overlaid of one participant. Furthermore, we used microphones to record discussions between workshop participants. On the next slide, I show you a very common way to visualize eye tracking data, which are heat maps. So in heat maps, we show for a specific time span the aggregated attention of participants. So here you can see attention of multiple participants overlaid on the gigamap. And here these hotspots indicate areas where people looked at and focused on a lot. This is a very aggregated view. We also introduced or developed a timeline-based view where you can see the attention of every participant. With this, you could better understand the individual participant behavior on the gigamap.
Now let's discuss the key results from combining eye tracking with the design process with the gigamap. One of the main findings is how stakeholders' attention shift throughout the workshops. Eye tracking data reveal specific areas of the gigamaps that receive more focus at different times, depending on the stage of the design process. For example, during the initial phase, the attention gaze was evenly distributed. However, as the stakeholders added their contributions, attention spots appear around key topics like climate and biodiversity. And what was interesting for us is that these key topics also appear in another thematic analysis we did after of the gigamap. Also, we found that integrated feedback loops between the digital and analog gigamaps was vital for improving communication. By transitioning between these two formats and clustering the information, the participants were able to visualize and articulate complex ideas more clearly, and that led us to a better collaboration and mutual understanding. What you can see in this slide is 2 stages of 2 workshops, and the first one was an early stages gigamap, where the information of each mini maps of each participant was kind of messy, and then in the image of the right, the information was clustered, so the communication was easier to navigate with the for the stakeholders. And looking ahead, this research opened up for us several exciting possibilities for refining co-design processes. First, the combination of gigamapping and eye tracking has shown potential in help us understand better and understand how participants engage with complex system design. By analyzing visual attention and interaction, we can develop new ways to structure co-design workshops more effectively, leading to better collaboration. There is also room for future research to explore how gigamaps can be optimized for even larger and more diverse stakeholders group. For example, focusing on how different elements like images, text, or physical prototypes can be used more strategically to communicate complex information among actors. To conclude, we have seen how gigamapping and eye tracking offer new opportunities for understanding and improving co-design processes in interdisciplinary realms. By visualizing attention patterns, integrating feedback loops, and understanding the ease of use of the different design elements, as I mentioned before, whether is more interactive use, text or graphs, or physical objects, we can create more effective and inclusive design environments. And for us, this is a potential path to innovative research in the field of design system thinking. Thank you very much. And we would like to thank also our students and that were an important part of this development.
Thank you. Very impressive, beautiful slides, and thank you for keeping the time as well. We have a question from Thomas Manning.
Yes, with like the attention on the maps, like what did you find? Do you find there was like a difference between what different students focused on in regards to, okay, so we have these topics on the maps here. Some students would focus on topics which are similar, building one upon one, or was it more holistic? So they kind of like from this thing here over to this thing which doesn't directly relate. How was attention distributed in that sort of sense? Like what were they focusing on?
During the stage of, well, they were starting with some explanation of the minimaps. So they map their personal interests. And in that stage, the attention was distributed. So everybody was putting the same amount of attention in each minimap, which makes sense because if I'm explaining something to you and I have 2 minutes and so on, we will all have the same distribution of attention. But then, and the other phase that I think it's from my point of view more interesting, where the stakeholders jump in, is where generally we could start seeing what is more attractive to each stakeholder. Probably something that we haven't introduced in this paper because we were looking just into how stakeholders interact is the topic that we were developing. So is we are developing biodiversity supporters in the built environment. So for us, it's very interesting to see how other actors, not only as designers, think and give more importance to one topic or another, and that give us traces of the work that in the design that we are carrying out. So it was a general approach. I don't know if that answered your question, but for us, it's kind of an important feedback for what we are doing as a design team.
I think it did partially. My understanding was for another time you might focus on that. The only reason I'm sort of asking is because I wonder what learning strategies could be extrapolated from such an attention mechanism, because that does seem to be a potential application where you could see how people are learning during that process and see what strategies, whether they're more holistic orientated, jumping from topic to topic to topic, or if they're more serial, building up sort of various topics over time. But that's what came to me, that's all. Svelton?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So I think we have a question for Birger.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I was wondering, I have a question. Are these eye tracking from interactive sessions or are they from individuals just looking at the maps? Because I think that might be a big difference.
Yes, maybe I can answer that question. Yeah, it was actually during the session. So it was from the participants who participated in the workshops.
Conversations or visual conversations.
Exactly. So they basically just conducted the workshop as normal.
Yeah,
like,
it will be interesting to compare.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
Maybe not, but you know. No.
Yeah.
Maybe I could make a following question to that. The 4 pictures that you have in the presentation of the heat maps, so are they all from different people during that same session?
No, they were all from the same people, but from different kind of phases in the workshops. So,
I understand. Okay.
Exactly.
But if you have several eye trackings of from several different people, do they tend to show similar pictures in the same situation, or do we have some individual differences? Like those guys who look wide?
Yeah, that's a good question. So heat maps, we usually computed heat maps over all participants. So kind of the individual behavior fades away in these visualizations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also why we created another visualization which shows kind of a timeline manner for each participant. Exactly this visualization where it gets a bit more clear, like what individual participants focused on.
It will be interesting to discuss this in the light of this paper I did together with Andreas Vettere, which is called Jumping Conversations. If you know it.
Oh, no, I don't know. That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's about how Gigamap allows you to have a disruptive conversation that without losing context.
Okay,
You
cool.
can jump from one place, discuss something in one
Mm-hmm.
on the map, and then can say, yeah, but over here there's something we should consider. So and the jump is done smoothly without
Can you see the slide now, Birger?
confusion. What?
Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
You can see that.
Yes, I went out and in again.
Pardon?
I left and joined again. So then the slide.
Okay. Because you can see that several participants are looking at the same group because they are interacting like at the same cluster because they are interacting about the same thing. They are jumping from different topics and discussing.
Interesting. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's good.